Howdy folks, hope everybody's doing good. What do we have here? So, give you a little context. When I did that my knife collection video, I got a new subscriber, John Smith, and he asked a question in the comments of if I could answer if I had to pick one fixed blade, one folder, and then a combination fixed blade folder. And I've been doing a whole lot of thinking, and man, that is tough to decide. But I figured I'd make a little video today on it. If I had to choose one knife. So if that's something y'all be interested in, all right, stay tuned. So laying here are the knives I carry the most out of my collection day to day. I have some folding knives here and I have some fixed blades. That's a tough decision. If I had to choose one knife, it puts me in a hard spot. Well, I can say for sure that I always have the Victorinox Spirit X on my side, and I always have the Hobo Forge Puko knife on my side, and I keep those on the left side of my belt. They are always there. This is my backup fixed blade, great for wood carving, doing different tasks. I really like how it's high carbon, which will come into account later on. But these two are always on my side day to day, on top of anything else I decide to put on my belt and in my pocket. Neither of these are the one that I would choose if I could only choose one, but I can assure you these are two of my favorites. This multi-tool and this smaller fixed blade. Go check Jason Smith at Hobo Forge out. He has YouTube, he has Instagram. He makes some awesome hand-forged knives. At some point in the next months, he's going to be making me a bigger chopper, and I cannot wait. Custom knife. Cannot wait. But, yep, so I always have these on my left side of my belt. Let's get them out of the way. We'll start off with the fixed blade first. It really depends on the situation I'm in. Gosh, what a tough decision. I love knives, but I carry these the most out of any. Let's see here. We'll get those on view real quick. This is more old school, old timer charade. Big fan of the old timers made in the USA. This is the 165, and it's an older one. It doesn't have the OT behind it. As you can see, made in the USA, baby, before they sold out. I just love how this has, over time, acquired a nice patina. I love that pitting in there. Like, there's just something about it. Some people want to keep their knives pristine, but this knife tells a story. Man, I love this knife. It's an awesome knife, but it wouldn't be my first choice if I had to choose one fixed blade. If I was running out of the house, never to return, this would not be it. Could be. I'll tell you what, if it was 40 years ago, this would be the knife I'd be grabbing and running out the door with. But today, this here, if I was running out to go hunting, this is a William Collins prototype. It's a one-off I got from one of his sales a while back. I love how it's got that little spay blade. If I'm going hunting, this is the knife I'm going to have on my side. Made of AEBL stainless steel, USA. William Collins is another awesome knife maker. This has beautiful walnut handles, red pins. The handles, they're a little swelled right now from all the humidity, but it'll go back down once it gets cold out. Really awesome knife if I'm going hunting, but not the one I would choose as a one-size-fits-all. Little sheath I made for it, just finished up the other day. Just something easy, throw it on my side. If I was all I was a wood carver. Like, if I had to choose one carving knife, it would be this William Collins wood carving knife. And he only made 20 of these oak handles on them. Really nice O1 tool steel. If I had to choose one wood carving knife, this would be it, out of the carving knives I have. But not the one fixed blade I would choose if I could only choose one. This here, I carry this a lot. This is the Jeff White Bush knife. Not the Bush 1, which is a little smaller, and not the Bush HD, which is a little larger. But the one in the middle, the Goldilocks knife of the Bush series. 1095 high carbon. There's Jeff White's little maker mark. He hadn't been making knives lately, and I feel really lucky to have this one. Really good little bush tool, little knife to bring out in the woods with you. But I don't think if I had to choose one, this would be it. Now, here's where it gets real tricky. We've got 3 other William Collins knives here. Can you tell I'm a fan of William Collins knives? I have a ton of Jeff White knives as well. But just as more of a, if I'm going to have like a one fixed blade for the rest of my life, or running out the door never to return, it's probably going to be one of these 3 here. This is where it gets tricky. It's hard. It depends on the situation. There's been, and it always changes, my favorites. But I made this sheath, hand carved and tooled, drew that little Norse serpent up, all hand stitched. I got a USA stamp, so I busted on the back. There's my maker's mark. This here is the Master Woodsman. And if I was running out into the woods never to return, man, it'd be a hard decision not to take this. 5/32 thick, so it's heavy duty enough that it can get by with most tasks. It's alright with chopping, a little bit of a belly if I'm skinning or butchering. I really like the blade length. It's up around 6-inch blade length. My Carter scales, AEBL steel. This is one of his older Master Woodsman knives, before he kind of tweaked them a little bit. But really like this knife. I can't say that if I had to choose one, I would. Possibly if I was going to live out in the woods, this might be it. But it would probably be... See, then I have these 2 here, which are similar but not similar. Here's the sheath that Stitch Gear Outfitters made for my WCSK. So check these out. William Collins Survival Knife and the William Collins Alaska Survival Knife. So if I was going to be jumping between the city and the country and the mountains, I'd probably have to go with the William Collins Survival Knife. That's good in, any situation, really. If I'm just going out in the woods, it would probably be the William Collins Alaska Survival Knife. Just a little bit different blade profile. Both these knives are 3/16 inch thick. They're heavy duty, tough blades. Both of them are Nitro V steel. The only thing I don't like about these blades is that they're not high carbon. Like, I don't know, I just love having that aged patinaed steel on my knife. Durable. The way William Collins heat treats these Nitro V blades, like, they're just as tough as his O1 steel, I'd say, Tough steel. But, and I mean, people say you want high carbon as a last ditch effort to be able to get a spark off the spine, but I guess worst comes to worst, I could do a bow drill fire, and either of these would help me fabricate what I needed. And the other thing, everybody always talks about, well, if you need to get a spark off your steel, you still need to find some fuzzy enough tinder or some charred material to be able to do that. And if you're getting your first fire going and you don't have it on you, that could be kind of tough. I'm going to leave it at this. If I was going out in the woods for the rest of my life, never to return, I would definitely bring the Alaska survival knife. But if I was jumping between rural areas and city areas, I'd go with the William Collins survival knife as my one fixed blade. So there you have it. And that's today. That might change tomorrow. I don't really have a favorite knife, because I love all my knives. Tough decision. But I'm gonna say I'd go with the Alaska survival knife as my favorite. See, I'm already changing. This would be my favorite. Good chopper. It's got enough belly there if I had to skin a moose. Which there aren't any moose around, but you know what I mean. It's got enough of a big old fang there if I had to stab a bear. See if I could get the record for stabs in a bear before it eats me. But tough blade. It would be a no contest if this was an 01 tool steel or some kind of 1095 high carbon. Like, absolutely would never leave my side. It's tough, man. I'm semi-old school. Like, I like them high carbon blades. I mean, this I wouldn't have to worry about it rusting out in the woods and all that. And there's other ways to get a fire going besides hitting the spark off the spine. So I believe this would be, after using all these knives for a while, these William Collins knives, this would be the one fixed blade that I would choose. Alright, let's get into which of my folding knives that I carry a lot I would choose. Which folder would I choose? Oh, and I have on me the Spyderco Stretch 2 in K390 steel. I carry this a lot, but these 5 pocket knives here, these folding blades, are the ones that I carry the most. We got the Spyderco Shaman. S30V steel. Super cool. One of Spyderco's more heavy duty knives. I have Benchmade Claymore. I love this knife too. I've had it for more than a few months now, and I've become very fond of it. But if I had to choose one folding knife, this would not be it. Too many things can go wrong with this knife, and for the things I use a folding knife for, this couldn't be it. Love the knife, but I'm going to take that out of the way. I love the Spyderco Stretch 2 in K390, but for what I do running around out in the woods, if all I had was one folding knife, no fixed blade, this just is not tough enough for what I need to use it for. It's a super slicey, cool knife for everyday carry, or even as just one of the 4 or 5 knives I have on me running around out in the mountain. Excuse me. Super steel on here. It's a cool knife, but this wouldn't be the one folder I would choose. Gotta fix the fire. She's smoking, keeping all the bugs away. I guess let's whittle it down a little more. No pun intended. If I was going to be in the city the rest of my life, I would probably go with the Shaman. but to suit my needs running around up in the mountain, those two knives down there are a little more durable, in my opinion. I've used all these knives a lot out in the woods, along the river, up the mountain, and the other two that I have laying down there, I really like this knife, but this wouldn't be the one folder. Alright, what we got left? Here, I bust this out. Got the Recon 1 and the Old Timer, the 70T made in the USA. If I had to choose one knife that I could depend on, and I was going to be out in the woods the rest of my life, it would be a tough decision, a tough choice between these two. I really like how this one's high carbon steel. This one is in S35VN, a pretty darn good stainless steel. This blade's just a little bigger, has a little bit, they look like they just about, there might be just a tiny bit more belly on the Recon 1, and a stronger lock in the triad lock. This is just a regular lock back, and that's a super sound lock. This is a super durable knife, but I've used them both out time and time again, and if I had to choose one, I think I'd have to choose the Recon 1. If I had to choose one folding knife out of my collection running out of the door, it would be the Recon 1. I'd say it'd be a pretty good knife for self-defense, a little bit bigger blade. I love that clip point. I've used it out here cutting, carving notches, doing feather sticks, even batoned with it once, which I do not recommend, but lock is still sound. This is a durable, tough knife, and if I had to choose one to depend my life on, it would be the cold steel Recon 1. And the clip point. Made in Taiwan. Feels good in the hand. A little bit thicker blade stock with that swedge there, and I really like it. I like it. So, this would be my one folder I would choose out of my collection. Not the most expensive, but the best one to suit my needs. Alright, let's get everything back out here. One folder, one fixed blade combo. What would I choose? Alright, so first off, I'd like to say, if it was 40 or 50 years ago, this would be my combo right here. If I had to go back old school, without a doubt, I'd go with the Old Timer 70T, and I believe this is called the Old Timer Woodsman, if I'm not mistaken. The 165 model number. Two durable, tough, awesome blades. Cannot go wrong with this combo, in my opinion. But it's not 40 to 50 years ago, so I'm going to take the 165 out of the equation for now. I'm going to take the Benchmade Claymore out of the equation just because too many things can go wrong, too many moving parts with this guy. Maybe if I was going to be living in the city, but take her out. I'm going to take this prototype, this William Collins prototype out. It's just not heavy duty enough for me to be my one fixed blade to go with a folder. I could get by with it, but for the kind of tasks I use a fixed blade for, this wouldn't be it. It's not going to be this wood carver. Way too skinny, and I mean, this is an awesome blade for carving stuff, but I need my fixed blade for a lot more than whittling on a spoon, carving notches, right? Oh, and I made this sheath for this one a while back. I'm going to take the Shaman out once again. That's a close second. Wish I could have two folding knives. This would possibly be one of them. But it's going to be out. Stretch 2 and K390. I carry this a whole lot. Really enjoy it. Super steel, but that's the other thing you got to think about. It's going to be a pain in the butt sharpening this knife, especially if I'm out in the woods. I mean, I bring little pocket diamond sharpeners with me, but I don't want to have to do that kind of maintenance on my folding knife, even if it's only once in a blue moon. So, and it's just too thin of a blade. This just is not, doesn't have the kind of durability I need in a folding knife. So, sorry there, Stretch 2, you're out of the equation. What are we down to? Got 2 folding there, and I got 4 fixed blades. Golly. I love this Jeff White bush knife, but it's just not heavy duty enough for me, especially if I can have a folding knife with me as well. I don't need a super slicey knife if I have a folding knife. So, I love the bush knife, but this is not it. Seeing as I'm down to 3 stainless steel fixed blades, I'm going to have to get rid of the Recon 1. This is also stainless steel. I need a little high carbon in my life. Plus, if I have a big old durable fixed blade, I don't necessarily need a big old durable folding knife. So, I hate to get rid of it, but it's going. So, as you can see, I would pick for my folding knife the Schrade Old Timer. Durable, it's not going to fail on me. Slicey enough, get a nice wicked edge on it, high carbon steel. I could get a spark off the spine if I had to. I just love the old vintage knives. So, this one's staying. One piece of the combo. And so in that case, I could really choose any of these. I'd be happy with any of those 3. But I think I'm going to have to stick and that would be a nice combo there. This would get me by. This too, I'm going to go with it. This would be my combo if I could pick one fixed blade and one folding knife out of the knives I have. Just a very good combination if I could only have one. I'm always carrying a bunch of knives with me when I go out. I usually have at least 4 or 5. No BS. But I think this would have to be the combo if I had to grab a folder and a fixed blade and run out the door never to return. Pretty versatile combo for my needs. So there you have it, folks. That would be my choice. Tell me what you think in the comments. Out of the knives I've shown you, what would you choose? I have a lot of experience with all of these knives, and overall I believe this would have to take the cake. Bam! Hope you all enjoyed the video. I've been thinking about doing a video of comparing the William Collins survival knife, Alaska survival knife, and the Master Woodsman. Let me know what you all think about that, if that's something you might want to see. A little comparison of these 3 beasts of knives. Well, I appreciate y'all watching, folks. Here in this last little bit of the video, stay tuned. I'm going to show you that Alaska survival knife in a little bit of action. Getting this fire going this evening. Hope y'all enjoy it. Catch you later. See ya. Appreciate y'all watching. Catch you on the next one.